Well, hey, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for being here tonight at our Connect group. I'm excited for you to be a part of what is going on here. You are sitting right in the middle of the mission and the vision of what we're doing here at the Heart, and that is connecting with each other in these smaller groups that build community and help us take steps in our journey of faith. So if it's your first time to group, I want to give you just a quick overview. What we do is we have a few questions that are based on the message we had on Sunday, but even if you weren't there or haven't listened to the podcast or know anything at all about church or Jesus or anything, you can still be a part of the conversation tonight. So we wrapped up our message series that we're in right now called Pursued, and we took about 5 weeks to look through what it means to be pursued by God, that you are pursued by God. And with this last Sunday, what we did yesterday is we talked about what it means to be found in the middle of God's pursuit. We looked at a story, and I want you guys to be able to read it out loud. It's in the book of Luke, chapter 15, verses 1 through 7. And it might be familiar to you. It's the story of the lost lamb, the lost sheep, where the shepherd leaves the 99 and goes in search for the one. So I have a few questions that are going to be kind of around this story, and some of them are going to be maybe a little easier to answer than others. And I want to encourage you, if you have something to share it. It helps us all grow. And if you aren't comfortable sharing yet, that it's perfectly fine to sit here quietly all night. We're all on different steps of our journey. So I want you to be able to be comfortable where you are in that journey, and you're in a safe place to be who you are and where you are. So the first question I have for you guys tonight is, I want you to think about a time where you were so determined, you were so driven to get something that you wanted, or to find something that you had lost, and you didn't let anything stop you from achieving that. You didn't let anything stop you from finding that. Nothing stopped you from getting that. So describe something where you were so driven and so determined that you let nothing stop you from finding something that you had lost or getting something that you wanted, and what made that worth it to you. So let's take some time to talk through that together and see what you guys come up with. All right, great. Now for this next question, what I want to do is read through this particular story if you haven't yet. Read through verses 1 through 7. Now, this story, Jesus is not talking about sheep. Jesus doesn't care about sheep as much as he cares about people. So he's talking about us. He's talking about the people that are far from God, the people that need God, the people that are there to listen to what Jesus has to say, to learn from him, and to follow him. So I want to know, in your life, where you are right now in your journey of faith, how does it affect you? What does it change for you? How does it enlarge your perspective or expand your perspective, knowing that Jesus finds you valuable? One of the things in my life is I never really had a hard time believing in God, and God wanted good things for humanity. God wanted good things for people, but something changed. Something was different for me when I realized that he wanted a relationship with me. So what I want to know from you is, what changes about you reading this story and realizing that Jesus sees you as valuable? Not people in general, but you in particular. What does that do for your life or your perspective on that? So let's take some time to dig into that a little bit. All right, now for the third question tonight, it has to do with a concept we looked at on Sunday, but I'm going to explain it to you here. We said that God's pursuit is not just in the past, that you were pursued. Right? God's pursuit of us is in the past, but it's also in the right now, and God's pursuit of us is in the not yet. So what I want you to do is take a moment to look at your life, to look at the journey that you are on, and how can you open your eyes to God's pursuit in the past. How can you open your eyes to see God's pursuit of you in the now what you're going through? And what does it look like for you to see God's pursuit of you in the not yet? What type of life changes are coming in your future? When you look at your future, how do you, and how can you see God's pursuit there waiting for you to be found in that, to be found in God's pursuit in the past, in the now, and in the not yet? So let's take some time to wrap our heads around that and talk through that together. All right, now, like I said, we've spent several weeks talking about what it means to be pursued by God, but the challenge I want to give you for this fourth question, the one I want us to think about and apply to this week, all of this boils down to, how can we apply it into our life? Because if we're just learning and gaining knowledge, then we're getting smarter, and there's nothing wrong with getting smarter, but everything changes when we take what we learn and apply it into our life. So in this story of this sheep being lost and the shepherd doing everything it takes to find this sheep, what I want to know from you is who in your life is lost? Who in your life is doing something that is bad for them, or doesn't feel like they have any friends, or is dealing with sadness or depression or anger or anxiety? Who in your life is lost in their life? And I want to know from you this week, what are you going to do for that person to pursue them? What are you going to do to pursue them and take the time and the love to welcome them into a place where it is safe? What can you do to pursue them and to welcome them? So what I want to do is, instead of looking at something that, what can we do with our relationship with God, and what can God do for us, but what can we do for those in our life, and use what God has given us, use this pursuit that we can see and pursue others. So how are you going to, and what are you going to do to pursue someone in your life who needs pursuit, and to love them and welcome them into a life of love and a relationship? So let's take some time to dig through that, talk through that, and see what you guys come up with. And this is the last question for tonight. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. We're going to have a Vision Sunday this coming Sunday. It's going to be so much fun. So it's a great time to invite people that have been maybe talking about church. When you ask someone and you invite someone personally to church, there's such a greater chance of them saying yes. And here's the thing, it's not about whether they come to church or not, but it is an opportunity to connect their heart to God's heart. And that is our mission and vision and goal here at this community, at this church, is to connect people to the heart of God. So we'll see you guys this Sunday at 9:30 and 11, unless I see you at a coffee shop sooner than that. All right, love you. Bye.